Hi, this is Real with Ray. One thing that I want to talk to you all about quickly is asking for what you want. That could be with work, could be with your friends, could be in a personal situation. It's really immaterial, but ask for what you want and persist in getting it. So I can't share the details of what's going on specifically and what made me think of this subject, but it's we'll call it governmental. It's a pretty tense situation. And I needed validation, we'll call it, from a certain entity to prove my case. And the entity was not giving. They weren't giving me what I needed, even though they had the information. So what did I do? One, I persisted. So I made sure to contact not one, but two, but three individuals from that organization to let them know what I needed. I then made sure that when I got a call or email, I would be prepared. So I bulleted out, because how hard is it sometimes, right? Especially if it's a really big deal and someone calls you, you pick up the phone, you don't really know what you're going to say. Even if you're someone that can speak eloquently off the cuff, you might have, let's say there's 4 key points, you forgot one of them. So I made sure that I had documented the 4 main points, 2, 3, however many main points you need, so that anytime I got the call, sometimes you could get the call and then call back, right? When you're not ready for something, you see a number you don't recognize. But then there's times where you've been trying and trying, in my case, to reach the individual, and I wasn't getting anywhere. So when I saw the area code come up, best believe, picked up the call. I was able to study myself, pull up my 4 points, and list them, and made sure that they were documented and the person had them so that they could then do what I needed them to do. Don't give up asking for what you want or need. I don't care if it's at school. Let's say your teacher explains something and you don't understand what they're talking about. Raise your hand. Send them. I know a lot of you all are on Chromebooks. You can send a message, explain it in a different way. That used to be my biggest pet peeve when I was younger. The teacher would say something, you say, you don't understand it, and they would repeat it. Your hearing is not wrong. Your comprehension. So that's why when I explain things, especially to young people, even this person today, they were like, well, they were hemming and hawing, not trying to help. And I gave 2 analogies. Maybe that's why I speak in analogies. I gave 2 analogies that were outside of the subject where I was able to bring up what's going on in a way that they could comprehend it, because they weren't comprehending it and doing what I needed to have done. So 1, be tenacious. Don't give up. 2, be prepared, right? Because when the lights come on, it's game time kind of thing. And 3, know your value and your worth. Don't let anybody, parent, teacher, supervisor, colleague, person you meet on the street, let you believe that you are not valuable and you're not worth their time, and you are not required to have a respectful conversation. I tell my child all of the time, I like that you question things. With me, out in the world, at school, I like that. Do it in a respectful way, though. We are all capable of great thinking, great ideas, and just because one person's perspective or view on something is one way, doesn't mean it's the way. It's not the only way. So when you're not getting what you need, relationship, platonic, a romantic relationship, a parent, doesn't matter, school, ask for what you want in a respectful way. Say, hey, I hear what you're saying. You said X, Y, and Z. That's not making sense to me. Here's why. Can you, Mr. Johnson, Explain that differently. You talked about these two things. I get what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense. I need you to come up with a completely different way to explain it to me. Keep asking for what you want. I don't care what it is, big or small, because you are worth it. You are valuable. And you need to be able to let others know that. I know this younger generation, especially, they're fighting for what they want, and that's great. But sometimes it comes across as being arrogant or contrarian or disrespectful or rude or just, and it's not accepted. So if you have your points, hey, I don't like the fact that the dress code is this. Here's why students should be able to express themselves, and come up with 2 or 3 points. You all have AI now. You've got Google Schmoogle. You have so many resources. Back in my day of keeping it real with Ray, back in my day, you had to go to the library, okay? You had to open up drawers to find out where books and things were. You had to put things on microfiche. Microfiche, it was like a clear plastic you put down and it would scroll through. They had I mean, I'm telling you, so much has happened in technology. You kids have no, young people, I'm saying kids, but young people and old, doesn't matter. But I'm especially talking to the young people. You all have resources that we could have only asked to have had. We could have only begun to want. Use your resources. But don't just copy the resources. Don't just say, oh, ChatGPT said da 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 da. Take it, look at it, think about it. What else can I add? What else can I add from my own experience? Talk to your friends, talk to people on the street. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But get some other insights. And then go for what you want in this life. You have one life. One. Make it a life that you feel is worth living. And if you're in a constant state where you feel like you are having to take the back seat, or you're having to adjust to things that aren't the way that you want them to be, I'm not saying be someone who is narcissistic and it's all about me, but also don't take a back seat. Do not take a back seat. We would not be here, especially for us people of color. We would not be here if our ancestors constantly took a back seat. They had to fight. So fight for what you want, fight for what you need, fight for what you deserve. Ask for what you want in an intelligent, clear, respectful way. Demand it. And if you don't get it, if the teacher isn't helping you, guess what? Go to the principal. If the principal doesn't help, you go to the superintendent. And you keep on climbing up that ladder. And we'll talk about that another time, because that's an important topic, is going the chain of command, as they say in the military. But this is Real with Ray. Just giving you all a little bit of insights from your favorite auntie and telling you what you need. Go for what you want, what you need, and continue to push and strive. You got it. Peace, fam.